Hi everyone, welcome to my bookshelf. My name is Ellie and you may know me from Instagram as Ellie Hodge Reads. I've been on Bookstagram for a year and a half. It's been a great experience. Met so many amazing book friends and my TBR has grown way beyond its capacity. I decided to start a booktube. This is my first booktube video. In this video, I will be talking about the books that I read in the month of July, whether I liked them or not, and just some other thoughts. July was an awesome month of reading. We did some traveling, lots of sunshine and outdoor time. I had a lot of time to get some reading done. Let's start out with the nonfiction books that I read. I read an early review copy of a book called Even After Everything by Stephanie Duncan Smith. She's a personal friend. We are in book club together. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. So she wrote this book, and it kind of walks through Christian liturgical year and her experience through the liturgical year. So when you think of Advent and Lent and ordinary time, the rhythm of the Christian year, what that means, things that she was going through during the liturgical year. So I rated this one 5 stars. Her writing is so poetic and beautiful. The way that she views the world and in light of the liturgical year was just really, really cool to read, and I learned a lot. This next book was a review copy from Crossway, and it's called Saved by Nancy Guthrie. She pretty much does a mini commentary on the book of Acts and walks through chapter by chapter what's going on culturally and contextually, and where the apostles are going, how the gospel is spread from the time the Holy Spirit comes down, happens after that. Really, really enjoyed this. I learned a ton. I had never done a study in Acts before. The way that she writes and explains things is super easy to understand and follow. I really enjoyed this. I will definitely be doing another study by her in the future. Now on to the fiction books that I read. So I read the Riley Sager's new thriller called The Middle of the Night, and I read that through audiobook. I rated that one 3.5 stars. I didn't love it. It was pretty slow. Not a lot happened. I didn't like the ending. I didn't love the characters. It was not my favorite of his. His other one, The Only One Left, was way better. Didn't love Middle of the Night. Really didn't like the ending and how everything played out. I also read The Bodyguard by Katherine on my Kindle. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, and it's been on my list for forever. Katherine is one of those romance authors. I'm not a huge romance person. The way that she writes is like I swoon over the characters. I love her characters, but there's so much depth to the characters. So there's all these different layers to the characters. It's not just like steamy romance. I try to stay away from spice or steamy scenes because I think they're unnecessary, and I just personally don't like reading them. Bodyguard, I gave that 5 stars. Such a fun, easy read. This next book was a reread for me. The second book is coming out in a few days called Apprentice to the Villain. So I was reading this to prep for the next book. I loved it even more the second time. Her writing is so funny and quirky, and the characters are just like, I just chuckle throughout the whole thing because it's just so funny and cringy in the best way. So it ends on a huge cliffhanger. Dying for the next book, and I'm super excited for Apprentice to the Villain to come out on August 6th. I have 2 books left. This is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I think I'm saying that right. This has been on my list forever. A friend from Bookstagram raves about this trilogy, and I finally got to it, and I'm so glad I did. It's big. It's a big boy. It is just, the world building is amazing. The characters, love the characters. The terminology culturally was a little difficult for me to follow, but this is a great first book. And so I immediately jumped into the second book. So the second book is Kingdom of Copper. I liked this more than the first book because I think part of it was because some of the characters are established. It was easier for me to understand. I kind of got the hang of things. So this was more enjoyable. Both books are super fast paced. There's so much happening all at once, and there's just a lot of fun. This is also a huge book. So they are not, not an overnight read. They're totally worth it. This is the second book, Kingdom of Copper. I finished this one as well. The third book is Empire of Gold, which is even bigger than the two. I'm hoping to read it this next month, but I'm kind of taking my time because I'm sad for the trilogy to be over. So that's all I read in July. It was a really great month. A lot of awesome books. Hope you guys enjoyed my first booktube video. Thanks for being here.